traditional Japanese preserved food, Koya tofu, and share how to use it in your bento. Add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. But actually, most Japanese households don't have much matcha. Konnichiwa! Today I'm going to talk about a traditional Japanese preserved food, Koya tofu, and share how to use it in your bento. This ingredient, also known as Koya tofu, actually has completely different nutritional value and health benefits compared to regular tofu. It's a deeply dried, rock-hard tofu, but when you rehydrate it with water, it becomes fluffy. I'll explain in detail the characteristics of Koya tofu and why it's so healthy, comparing it to regular tofu. Koya tofu is this hard. So what exactly is Koya tofu? It's a traditional Japanese preserved food made by freezing tofu, letting it mature, and then drying it. It originated in Japan's Wakayama prefecture, with Mount Koya being especially famous. That's where the name Koya tofu comes from. When you freeze regular tofu, the water inside turns into ice crystals. After that, it's thawed, the moisture is squeezed out, and then it's dried even further. This unique process of freezing, maturing, and drying changes the protein structure of the tofu. That's what creates the decisive difference from regular tofu. Its appearance, texture, and above all, its nutritional value change dramatically. Koya tofu is a food with an ideal nutritional balance, high in protein, low in carbohydrates, and rich in minerals. And now, here's the most interesting point about Koya tofu. 17.5% of it is a special type of protein called resistant protein. Resistant means to resist, and in this case, it refers to protein that resists the body's digestive enzymes, making it difficult to digest. Thanks to the unique process of freezing, aging, and drying that I mentioned earlier, the tofu's protein changes and this resistant protein is created. This is a characteristic unique to Koya tofu and not found in regular tofu. So how does this resistant protein work inside the body? Actually, it acts much like dietary fiber. It binds to excess cholesterol in the intestines and helps expel it from the body, suppresses rapid spikes in blood sugar, and inhibits the rise of neutral fats. Thanks to these effects, it can help lower cholesterol, control blood sugar, and prevent lifestyle-related diseases. Regular tofu is also a healthy food, but this effect of preventing lifestyle diseases is a unique strength of Koya tofu. Also, Koya tofu is an ideal food for people who are dieting or doing strength training. First of all, it's low in calories and high in protein, and protein is essential for maintaining and building muscle. With Koya tofu, you can get protein without worrying about fat. Now, regarding cooking, if you rehydrate Koya tofu in water, you can use it in a variety of dishes like stews, stir-fries, and even deep-fried dishes. Another appealing point is that it easily absorbs flavors and is very versatile for different recipes. And if you use the powdered type, it can be used as a substitute for breadcrumbs or even in baking sweets. Regular tofu tends to break apart easily and can be difficult to cook with, but Koya tofu holds its shape well, making it easy to handle even for beginners. However, no matter how healthy it is, please be careful not to eat too much of it. The foundation of Japanese food culture is to eat a little bit of a variety of things. That's what it means. Please be sure to include Koya tofu as part of a well-balanced diet. Soak 33 grams of Koya tofu in water to rehydrate. After soaking for about 1 to 2 hours, put it in a food processor and process until it becomes crumbly like ground meat. Heat a pot and add about 1 to 2 tablespoons of oil. Low heat is recommended. Then add the rehydrated Koya tofu and heat it. Add ginger. You can use either chopped ginger or ginger paste. Add 2 tablespoons of sake. Add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Add 4 teaspoons of sugar and add 2 tablespoons of mirin. Let the liquid evaporate thoroughly as it is. Pack rice into the bento box, then sprinkle the soboro on top. If you peel the edamame and arrange them one by one, your bento will look beautiful. And with that, it's complete. Well, thank you all very much for watching. In Japan, there has long been a deeply ingrained bento culture, where from a very young age, people often meticulously pack delicious rice into these traditional kinds of lunchboxes and then eat them for their midday meal. There are even schools where you have to bring a bento every day, and in workplaces too, there are many people who bring a bento and eat it in the office. There are many different types of bento boxes in Japan. Of course, there are also incredibly cute small bento boxes specifically for children, much like the charming one we use today. For example, for adults, women might typically use a bento box about this particular size, which is often a single-tier type with practical dividers inside, so you can neatly separate the rice and various side dishes. And if you want to eat more, there are also many bento boxes that are robustly double-tiered like this. When you go out with your family to the park or on an outing, in Japan there's also the culture of hanami, where everyone eats bento together under the cherry blossom trees. In those cases, it's common to pack a lot of side dishes into a big bento box, bring rice bowls, and share the meal with everyone. When making bento, something people often worry about is, for example, dishes with a lot of liquid. It's actually pretty common for the juices from the side dishes to leak out of the bento box. These days, for example, there are these paper containers made for bento side dishes, and by using these cases that absorb liquid, you can prevent leaks. People also use these decorative items to make the bento more colorful. Japanese bento really put a lot of emphasis on appearance. Nowadays, I think you can buy all sorts of bento boxes from overseas on the internet as well, so I encourage you to try incorporating bento into your daily life. I'm not a vegan myself personally, but there was a particular time when I set myself a challenge for a full 6 months where I consciously didn't eat things like refined sugar, wheat flour, various oils, or any dairy products. What I found most difficult during that entire time was that whenever I was out and about, there was often absolutely nothing readily available that I could eat. However, in Japan, it's quite common and a widely accepted practice to meticulously wrap rice balls in plastic wrap and take them with you when you go out, or to carefully pack rice into a bento box and bring it along. This is a very normal and integral part of daily life here, and I personally think it's really convenient and practical. So if there are any vegans who aren't quite sure how to effectively use bento boxes, I sincerely hope you'll find this helpful and beneficial. Matcha is really popular overseas right now, but actually most Japanese households don't have much matcha. Occasionally, I might have a matcha dessert at a cafe, but drinking matcha at home isn't really a common habit among Japanese people these days. On the other hand, miso soup is a fermented food, and many Japanese people drink it every day for their health. This tea is pink in color, it's super cute, and it has a very